And Shirisha and Santosh, you both did you practice last week, like this week, for Monday? Did you get a chance to practice on OOPS concepts and collections, array list and linked list?
Venkat garu, still I am doing methods. I want to
Okay,
understand those concepts first.
okay, not an issue. But actually, don't stop practicing. Daily basis, please continue practicing. Okay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And also, you can ask questions anytime. When you have definitely will get a questions when you're practicing Java examples in Eclipse IDE. So you can try like kind of negative testing. So when you declare everything proper structure in a Java, right? In a Java program, then it will execute successfully. When you miss something like semicolon, when you miss main method, when you miss when you're trying to access some null value variable, something. So definitely it will give some errors, right? So please try it that way also. Example, when yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead, Suresh.
that is the reason. When I didn't declare the object, then it gave me the error like that static and public
Yeah,
is not matched like that. So
correct,
that's
correct.
the reason.
Because if this variable is a static, definitely no need to create an object. So directly you can access within a class. Because no, as I mentioned, static keyword, right? Whenever it is a static, no need to create an object. So directly we can access through class, the class name and all. I have mentioned in one of the session, I remember. But anyway, go through the material once again. You can ask me question anytime, Srisha. Okay.
Sure, Venkat.
So what I mean is just practice the like negative testing also, so that you can get exceptions and errors when you're doing like some mistakes, right, while writing a program. So in that way, you will get a confidence, right? Confidence like how you can create a proper structure in a class while creating automation test cases. So when you're understanding the concepts, right, then it will be easy only. Okay, then I'm sharing my screen. I hope everyone able to see my screen. So I'm just explaining what we have covered in the last sessions, high level. So in the Java collections, we have covered what is a list interface. Okay, the list interface, like it will allow the duplicate elements. It will follow an order. So we will insert the objects or elements in a based on the position. That means index in an array list. So it will follow the array data structure only. So array list or linked list, it will store the elements. So based on this positions index. So list is an interface and array list, linked list are the classes. And also the interface is having methods. If you see here, the commonly used methods of list interface are add method. So based on the index, the position, we can add the element. Without index also, we can add the element. That means if you are not adding index, it will insert the object in a sequential order. Whatever object you are adding first time, it will add as a first element. Without index, I am saying. We have seen examples in the previous sessions. When you are giving an index number, then the particular object will be added in that particular position. If you are adding without index, that means it will add in a sequential order. When you are adding 5 objects, when you are adding first A and second B, third C, means it will insert first object as A, second object as a B, third object as a C in a sequential manner when you are not giving the index number. So we can add in the both the ways, and also add all method. So in here a collection of objects will be inserted in a certain position, that means certain index, using add all method. Get method means we can return the object. So from a array list, right, based on the index number, you can get the object from the array list. Index of method, okay, it will index of a particular object. Index of method means, that means if you are mentioning any object inside the index of method, it will return the index of first occurrence. Example, first occurrence in the sense the list, that means array list will allow the duplicate elements also, right? If A is inserted in 5 places in a array list, first place, third place, fifth place, if you are giving index of object name, that means A is in first place, first index, and fifth index, or some ninth index. So 3 positions A object, the duplicate of A is added in the array list. When you are giving index of A object place, when you are giving index of A, it will return the first occurrence. That means the first index. The A available at the first index, it will return. It won't return the A available in the fifth index and ninth index. That's what they are saying. Okay, that is the meaning of index of. Last index of, it will return when you are giving last index of method and mentioning A object. In the above example, we are giving A object A placed in first index, fifth index, ninth index. So in this last index of object place A, if you are mentioning the last index of A object, then it will return the 9. That means ninth place A object. It will return the last occurrence because A occurring in 3 times. First index, fifth index, ninth index. Last index of means the last occurrence. That means ninth index object will display, returns. Okay. So list iterator. So it returns the list iterator object to the start of this list. Returns an list iterator object. So this method, right, if you are mentioning a list iterator method, it will return an object to the start of the list. Okay, that means from the first object, right? So when you are mentioning this method in array list, the array list object dot list iterator, then it will return to the first the starting of the list. So I will show in the example so that based on the output you will get exact meaning of this. So list iterator index, it will returns the list iterator object to the list that begins at the specified index. So it will return to the list iterator object based on the index. The list begins at the specified index. So when you are mentioning index, wherever it is started, right, the list the list iterator object, then it will return to that object. So these two I will show an example so that you will get more idea. Remove method, as we all know, we can remove the any object from any place, any position by mentioning the index. Set method means we can replace the object based on the index. Example, A object in a first index. You want to replace A with B. Then index 0 or index 1, just example I'm saying, set 1 comma A. We should not give A 1 comma B. Okay. So index 1 one index, A object is there, and you are replacing A with B object. So we need to mention set method of 1 comma B. In that case, in a one place A is there, it is replacing with object B. So it is assigning object to the specified index location within the list. Okay. So when you are assigning an object, a new object, like a particular index, using set method, the existing old object will be replaced with the new object. That is the purpose of set method, assigning the new object. The sublist. When you are returning, when you want to get the sublist from the array list based on the starting index, and that means start position and end position, it will return a list that contains the elements from start to end. Index position in the list. That means when you're having 50 elements in array list, when you want to get the sublist of 25 comma 30, that means sublist of 25 comma 30 means the starting index from the starting index 25 till the 30th index, you need the list of elements. That is a sublist. So sublist method will return the list of elements based on the starting index number and ending index number. These are not the array list start index, end index. Whatever collection of objects you want to return from array list, when you're having some means a collection of elements in an array list, that means 50 elements or 50 objects available in array list. When you want to get some 5 objects starting from the 25th to 30th, then it will return the 5 objects of those array list starting from 25th index to 30 index. That is the meaning. It is not the array list 0 index to 50 index. That is not. When you are giving 0 to 50 also, it will return whole array list. Okay. But the purpose of sublist is to get the return the sublist of the list contains elements from the starting collection of elements between a particular index numbers. This also I will show so that you will get the meaning of sublist. A list inside the array list. So these examples also we have seen. So high level I will tell array list is a class. So before creating any program in a collection Java collections, the first line of code we need to mention import statement. Import java.util.star. Okay. So above import, definitely we need to give package name. Okay. Example in a based on the structure of your project in Eclipse IDE, so we need to mention the package name. That is the first line. After that, you need to mention import java.util.star. What I mean is, what I am saying is, to mention the import of this java.util package is very important, because all the classes of the util package you will be importing in this particular class. Okay. Util is having array list, linked list, everything actually, vector, stack. So that's why you are importing java.util, the calendar classes, the time unit. So we have so many classes in util package. So based on the classes and methods which you are going to use within a class which you are creating, so to utilize the required classes methods available in a util package in a particular Java class, then you need to import java.util.star. That means the collection of classes inside the util package. And then after importing the java.util package using this statement, you need to create a class name, and open parenthesis, the open curly braces, I mean, and then public static void main, the signature of the we all know the signature of the public static void main passing the string array of arguments. This is the default syntax of main method in any Java class. Inside the Java class, after that, for every method which you're defining means, which is not a abstract method means, we need to open with a curly brace and close with a curly brace. That meaning is we are giving definition for that method. So for main method also we are giving the definition. That's why we are opening a curly brace. That means closing curly brace. So we are defining this main method. So how we are defining with the lines of code, right? So here we are writing the code logic as we are creating the object for the class. Here class name is Java example, object name is ARR list. So same syntax in collections, Java collections. The creation of the object for any class in Java is same. Class name, object name equal to new operator class name. But in collections, we need to mention the data type of the objects which are storing inside the particular class. So array list class is storing the string type of objects. That's why we need to mention the data type also while creating a object for a particular class. In this case, array list is a class. We are creating an object for the array list. That meaning is we are inserting the string type of objects in the array list. That's why data type also we need to declare while creating object. Okay, if you want, you can declare here also array list of string. So, but if you already mentioned first time, right? One time here. So no need to mention again here. If you mention also, that's okay. So array list class name, the data type string, object name array list equal to new operator class name, and if you want to give string again, the data type of the object which you are storing in array list, that's okay. And open bracket, close bracket, semicolon. So for object creation, always this is the syntax in the collections. Here the classes will vary. Example, if you are creating a linked list or class object, in the place of array list, you need to give linked list. In the place of ARR list, you can give same also, but meaningful linked list object, right? You can give link list, something. So new linked list. When you are giving vector, some data type, vector object, new vector class. So you can, but the syntax is same. You can change the classes in which you want to create the objects. So after creating an object for a class, in this example, array list class, sorry. So we are adding the objects into the array list using the object of the array list. So in Java, we all know after creating an object, we are using object reference to add to call any methods or to access any variables, right? So here, what is the method? Add is a method name. So array list is an object. So this is not a static class, right? Or not having static variables here. So definitely we need to create a object because class is not a static class. Okay, so we need to create an object and then using the object reference, we need to call the add method. Why you are calling add method? To add to objects into the array list class. What kind of objects you are adding? Here we mentioned, right? We need to add the string type of objects into the array list. So we added string. String always the group of characters inside the double quotations is a string. So we are adding cricket string object and hockey string object in the array list object. Sorry, array list class. So using array list object, we are calling the add method to insert the objects into the array list class. So after adding cricket and hockey objects, this is the array list data structure. The first object is cricket. So array cricket, comma hockey. So this is the array list of two objects. They are saying, as we all know, the first index is 0. So at 0 index, cricket is stored, inserted, and first index hockey object is inserted. So after that, we are adding again basketball object. As I mentioned, right, if you are not mentioning index while adding objects using add method, then sequential way it is added. First we added cricket, second we added hockey. Sequential way it is added. First cricket object, sorry here, and second hockey object. When you are mentioning index while adding objects, then the particular string object added or inserted in the certain index position. So using add method, we can add a objects in array list in two ways. So directly using object name or and using the index and object name. So here basketball object, string object added or inserted in the 0th index. So 0th index means first object, right? So that's why it is added in the first index, basketball. So basketball string added as the first index. Sorry, 0 index. 0 means the first object at 0 index. So basketball is a first object in the array list that is placed in 0 index. Cricket is the second object which is placed in first index. Third object, because three objects stored, right? Basketball, cricket, hockey. The hockey is a third object which is placed in second index. Always in array list, the index starting from 0. So basketball is 0 position, cricket is first 1 position, 1 index, hockey is second index. Okay. After adding the objects in array list, we are displaying system.out.println using method. We are displaying the objects of the array list. So I am simply giving one system.out.println method to display this string value, array list of elements. Why I am doing this? For meaningful. In the output, it is displayed array list elements, basketball, cricket, hockey. For meaningful output, right? For readable purpose in understanding what we are executing the program. That's why we are giving array list elements as a string value, and we are displaying using system.out.println method. And after that, we need to iterate the objects in a array list. In a Java collection concept, always it is array data structure, right? It is stored based on the index values. When you want to do any operations on a particular object in array list or any class inside Java collections, so we need to follow the looping concept for iterating. So we need to iterate. We need to go to the 0 index first, and then first index, and then second index. So iterate to the array list. We are using the for loop concept for each loop concept. That means enhanced for loop concept here. So for bracket, the new object string is a data type, str is a new object, colon array list, arr list is a object of the array list. Here arr list is an object we have created for the array list class. So for each loop, the syntax is always we need to give the new object that is data type of the object, and then object name, new object, colon the existing object of the class. That means array list, arr list. That means this is the object of the array list class. So what arr list is having now? Arr list is having three objects: basketball, cricket, hockey. Because in the object using the arr list, we have added three objects. So we using object only, we are calling add method to add objects, right? To insert objects. So in this arr list, we have three objects: basketball, cricket, hockey. That's why arr list is assigning to new object str. That means the three objects available in ARR list assigning to str, the string object str, inside the enhanced for loop. That means for each loop. So for each loop, the new object, the string type of str colon the existing object ARR list. That meaning is the objects of the ARR list assigning to string object, str object. So, and then that meaning is we are iterating using for loop. It will go to 0th index first, and then first index and then second index. Then we are displaying all the objects using system.out.println method. So system.out.println of str, directly we are passing that object str. No need to give the double quotation because already it is a string type. So directly you can give str object name. So system.out.println of object name, the new object name. That means whatever elements, the objects available in ARR list object assigned to str. That means basketball, cricket, hockey assigned to str. When you are displaying str, first this is a for each loop concept, right? It will first it will iterate. Iteration means it will go to 0 index first. It will display the basketball. First index, it will display the cricket as output. Hockey, it will go to the second index. It will display the hockey index. How we are displaying using system.out.println method. Okay, so this is how array list class will work. Okay. I have, I think a vector stack also I have explained that day. Linked list also I have explained. Okay, I hope yeah, some people, some research, some students started practicing this. So please start again. Whoever not started collections Java programming practice, please start practicing so that you can able to understand the concepts, and then you won't forget the concept. So please start practicing collections also. So linked list also same under class. Okay, under class we are creating the same way, importing package java util package and class main method linked list object we are creating linked list. So add method object dot add method we are calling, we are adding the same, the process is same. Okay, so but here if you see we are use the while loop here. So example, when you are here for iterating to the linked list, we are using the iterator object. So if you see, iterator is a interface here. I will show the diagram. I think see here, iterable is a the parent interface. After that, collection is a parent interface to the list queue set interfaces. So iterable is a one of the parent interface. Collection is a second parent interface. The list interface, queue interface, set interface are sub interfaces of collection interface. So for all these interfaces, iterable is a parent interface. So each interface list interface is having array list, linked list, vector. So stack is a sub class of vector. Okay, and also queue is having dq classes, the priority queue. Okay, the priority queue classes. Set interface is having hash set class, linked hash set class, so sorted set class, tree set class. So all these three interfaces having the collection of classes. The same way map is another interface similar to list, queue, set. These are three interfaces under collection. The same way map is another interface which is having the classes hash table, linked hash map, tree map. So all these are classes under the map interface. So the list, queue set and map are all the interfaces available in the Java collections. That means in java.util package, we have all these interfaces and classes also. We'll see set example. Okay. Because I don't want to repeat the vector stack and all. It's easy only. Just go through the material and understand the concept and come up with the questions when you miss something, and definitely we'll get questions right when you're practicing. So come back with the questions. So I am starting the concept of set. Set is another interface. We have completed the list interface, which is having array list, linked list, vector, stack classes. The similar way, set is another interface. In the hierarchy, in the collections hierarchy, I have shown right. In this, see here, list we have completed. Queue, another interface. Set is another interface. So set we are starting now. So set is one of the interface available in the parent collection interface. So set is a interface name, which is having hash set is a class, linked hash set is a class, sorted set and tree set. So we are going to set. So set is an interface. Set is a collection that cannot contain duplicates. We have gone through the list interface. List interface is allowing the duplicate elements, but set interface, it won't allow the duplicate elements. Example, if you want to add a duplicate object inside the set interface, it won't allow, but list interface will allow. This is also interview question, sir. So the interviewer will ask you whether duplicate objects are allowed in the collection, sir. You need to say yes, list is allow the duplicates, set is not allowing the duplicates. So directly they will ask whether you can able to insert the duplicate objects inside the set. The interviewer will ask the question whether duplicate objects will allow the set. You need to say no, set won't allow the duplicate objects. They will ask you which interface allows the duplicates. Then you need to say list interface in the collection framework will allow the duplicate elements. So set won't allow the duplicate. There are three main implementations of set interface. The classes. Implementations means classes. Because set means interface. We all know in Java, interfaces are having all abstract methods. It don't have any definition for the method. Set is interface, right? In Java, interfaces are always having abstract methods. The abstract method means it is not having the definition for the method, implementation for the method, where we will define those methods of the interface in the classes. So that meaning is the hash set is one class, tree set is another class, linked hash set is another class. So in the set interface, we have three classes: hash set, tree set, linked hash set. So the methods of the set interface will define in the classes hash set, tree set, and linked hash set. Okay, that's why there are three main implementations of set interface. So these classes will define the methods of set interface. So set interface contains only methods inherited from collection interface. What they are saying in the hierarchy, set interface is sub interface. The collection is a parent interface. So whatever methods are available in the parent interface, it will be inherited into the sub interface set, the child interface. So set is a child interface, right? As per the hierarchy diagram, the parent is collection interface. So set interface contains only methods inherited from the collection interface, because collection is a parent interface for the child interface set, and adds the restriction that cannot contain a duplicate element. That means it won't allow the duplicate elements. Set interface. So commonly used methods of set interface. So these are the common methods of set interface. The same similar methods, add method, add all method. Here clear method is there. In the list, we have remove method. Correct? In the list interface, we have seen the remove method to remove any object. But in set, we have the clear method for removing the objects. So set interface having clear method. Contains method. This is a new method. So one interface having its own methods. So add method, add all method, clear method, contains all method, equals method, hash code method, is empty method, iterator method, remove method. See here, it is having remove method also. So we will see the difference between remove and clear here. What is a clear? Remove all elements. Okay. When you are giving clear method, it will remove all the objects from the set. When you are giving remove method, we are mentioning an object, it will remove the particular object from the set interface. And remove all method and retain all method. Size method to array method. So all of these common methods available in the set interface. So hash set. Okay. Hash set is a class, right? In a set interface. So hash set, which stores its elements in a hash table, is the best performing implementation. That means hash set is a class. Okay. Hash table is the best performing. Okay. What they are saying, right? It is storing in a hash table concept. Okay. Example, array list and all data array concept, right? The data structure. So this is a hash table concept. So hash set, which stores its elements in a hash table, okay, is the best performing implementation. Hash set allows only unique elements. That means it won't allow the duplicate elements. It does not maintain the insertion order. So that means there is no order also. You can insert objects at any place in a set. But in array list, it will follow a order based on the index numbers. So you need to insert the objects in array list or list based on the particular order. But in set, there is no order. It won't follow any order. So we can insert the elements any position. We can remove from elements from any position. So it does not maintain the insertion order, which means element inserted last can appear at first when traversing the hash set. When you're iterating, right? So the last element will appear as a first element here because there is no order, right? So example we'll see here. So hash set is a class available under set interface. So example of hash set also the same way always in Java collections in any class you need to import the java.util package and public class name and public static void main method. So in a class we are giving public static void main method. Inside the main method we are creating an object for the set is a object for the hash set class. Correct? Hash set is a class available in set interface. Okay, set interface is having has set class. That's why we are creating in this object set is object name. Has set is a class name. So class name data type object name equal to new is operator and has set is a class name. So we are creating object set for the has set class. So object after creating object using the object reference set dot we are calling add method, because in the set interface also we have add method, add all method here and so many some 14 methods. So we can call the object the methods of any method using the object reference. So in this example, we are calling the add method to add the objects. What kind of what type of objects? String only. We have mentioned while creating an object. We have mentioned string data type. So has set class is inserting string data type objects. That's why we are adding string values inside the double quotation. We are giving some character value means that is string. So this is a string value. So adding a Paul string object into set object, Ram string object, Aaron string object, Leo string object, Becky object. We have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 string objects into the set. So after adding the objects into the set, what we are doing here, iterator. For iterating the set interface, the set has set class, we are creating a iterator object. So iterator is interface name. The data type is string because this is string type, right? So the IT is an object of the iterator. So how what I think we have I have explained this how to create a iterator object means always interface name iterator data type iterator object equal to the particular class the same the class object is set. Class is has set. Object of the has set class here is we created set object. So object dot iterator method. Okay. Set dot iterator method. So this method. So when you are creating array list or linked list means we can give the linked list object dot iterator. We have seen the example in the previous list interface. In the set interface, the same way the syntax is same. How to create iterator object means iterator interface name, data type, object name, IT. You can give anything here. Not only IT, object name you can give your name also, but we can give the meaningful name. So iterator means I have given IT. So iterator interface name, data type, the object name is IT equal to set. That means set is a object of the hash set. And then iterator method. It is available in the iterator interface. So always in Java collections, iterator method available in iterator interface. So we have created a iterator object. Why we created iterator object here in this example? Because we need to iterate to the hash set. For traversing purpose, we have created a iterator object. In the earlier list examples, we have created a this one we have used for each loop, right? While loop, for each loop. So for each loop concept, we haven't created iterator, but in but here for this hash set, we have created iterator object, and then we are using while loop concept here. So in the while loop, we need to put the condition, right? So we are putting like we are checking whether hash set object is having elements or not. So already we have 5 elements, right? 5 objects. Set is adding hash set object is having 5 elements, 5 string elements. So this method has next method. Always this has next method and next methods, 2 methods we are using. these methods available in the iterator. So inside the iterator, we have the iterator method, and iterator object is having has next method and next method. So in a while loop, we are putting a condition, we are checking whether iterator object is having any element using has next element. It dot the object iterator object dot has next method means we are checking here. One second. Give me one minute. I'm calling some college bus. Sorry. So as we have covered, we have added 5 objects, string objects in a hash set class using hash set object. So here we are creating a iterator object, and then after creating iterator object, we are using while loop for traversing through hash set for iteration purpose. So iterator object having 2 methods, has next method, next method. Has next method will be used to check the objects availability in the using iterator object. We are checking whether object is available or not. Okay. So after checking, it will return the boolean value, right? When the object is available, then it will go to the next step. So we are printing here. What is next? The logic here. Character object dot next. If this condition is success, if it returns the boolean value true, then it will go to this method. The same object, iterative object, is calling another method next. That means has next is checking whether the object available or not. Next method is we are finding the object available in the has set class. So these two methods, has next method available in iterator object. So while loop, we're having iterative object that has next. We are checking the object availability, and then we are accessing the elements of the hash set using next method. So next method means we are accessing it. So iterative object dot next method, and if object available, then it will display system dot out dot println. While loop, right, first it will go to pal iterate. It is iterating through five objects, right? Because hash set having five objects. So first is pal. So next method will call, access pal string object first, and next method will access ram next. So that's why if we see the output after executing this program, sorry, if you are executing this program in Eclipse, okay, I will show the ID. Sorry, because if you see, this is a not this class. If you see the difference, right? This is a class name, but we have used the hash set class here. These two are not same because this is a class name. Inside the class, we are using the hash set, the collection class name. So this is different, right? Because in the array list, sorry, in the collection concept, java.util package is having all the classes, right? Like array list, linked list, hash set, everything. It is having util package. That's why we are creating directly hash set object here. I'm executing it. If you see here, the output, as I mentioned, it is not following any order. So the definition you have seen, right? If you see the definition here, the hash set it is allows only unique elements. It won't allow duplicate elements, and it is not maintaining any order. That's why when you are accessing elements using next method, it is not going to the first object. Like Paul, randomly it will access because it is not following any order. So when you are accessing using next method, the output is printed all the objects available into the hashed class. So here, how many objects are available? Paul, Ram, Aaron, Leo, Becky, five string objects. So when you are executing this program, this step while loop, it is iterating through all five objects, and it is checking has next method is checking whether objects available in the hash set. Yes, objects available, five objects available. Then it will go to it will access using next element, next method. So iterative object having next method. So next method means it won't go to first index, second index. There is no order, right, in hash set. So it will access any element. So it is accessing array element. It is displayed using system.out.println. And then next element, Leo. It is not following any zero index, first index, second index. There is no order here. So it will access any element, it will display. So next method will access all the 5 objects randomly, and then it will print. So all Aaron, Leo, Paul, Ram, Becky, all 5 objects, string objects printed as output in this program. So this is how HashSet class works. Always remember the concepts, how to create object for a class in Java collections, how to create a iterator object in a collections, how to what are the methods available, has next method available in the interface, iterator object. These are the basic concepts. If you understand these basics right, then it will be easy to write the Java program for the collections. So the similar way, we have linked hash set. In the earlier concept, list concept, we have a array list, linked list. Here in the set concept, we have hash set and linked hash set. So linked hash set maintain, and in this linked hash set example, what they are saying is it will follow a order. Hash set is not following any insertion order, but linked hash set class, this is also class only. So hash set and linked hash set are classes of set interface. So but linked hash set is following a insertion order. It will follow a order, they are saying. So here also the same way, the util package, the class name, the main method, and after creating a set object for the linked hash set class. So we are adding a string objects because linked hash set is a string data type. So that's why we are adding string objects. If it is a integer, then we need to add a integer objects. But this linked hash set is a string data type. That is the reason we are adding string objects here in the set linked hash set object. So after that, the same way, we are creating a iterator object and we are using while loop. So to checking conditions using a has next method and accessing through next method. So here also, if you see the output, next method is accessing. Here they are saying it will follow order, right? Insertion order. Insertion order means whatever object you have inserted. First you have inserted Paul. That's why it is accessing Paul only. Second object you are inserted as Ram. That's why next method will call Ram after Paul. And next method will access Aaron. So in sequential order, right? So insertion order. That's why linked hash set is following insertion order. So when you are executing this logic, right? The next method will access Paul first for Paul object and Ram object, Aaron object, Leo object, Becky object in the insertion order. That's why 5 object is printed also Paul, Ram, Aaron, Leo, Becky as the output. Link has the same class. Link has set tester. So these two are not same because this is a class name. We are creating a class that we are giving the class name as link has set tester, but this class is the array list, linked has set class name available in the java.util package. Okay. In this example, linked has set is a class which is available in a set interface, which are available in java.util package. When you are importing java.util package, you can create an object for any class here. So here we are creating an example for the linked has set. That's why we are using linked has set class name for creating an object. So after this, we're executing this run as Java. If you see the output, this linked hasset is following the insertion order, right? The pal string object inserted first object, second inserted ram string object inserted as a second object, Aaron string object inserted as a third object. That's why when you are accessing using next method, it is following the same insertion order. First, it will access pal method. It will access next ram method and Aaron method. The sequential way insertion order. That's why the output also Paul, Ram, Aaron, Leo, Becky. So Paul printed, Ram is printed, Aaron is printed output, Leo, Becky. So these 5 strings printed as output in an insertion order way. The linked hasset class. So this is how hasset and linked hasset of set interface works. So go through this and practice these examples. Tomorrow I will cover the other classes, the tree set, okay, sorted tree set. So I will cover the other examples. So please go through the material and practice the examples. Okay, this is actually the one easy thing in the collections is we will use the same programming the structure I am saying. Example, we will create a object and we'll use object reference for the calling the methods and we are using creating the iterative object, the same syntax. The while loop concept is same, has next method. So in all collections, right, these are the same repetitive things. So it will be easy to understand the concept. Okay, to practice also it will be very easy. So I'm ending this class now. So start practicing on these concepts. Thank you all. Venkat, I'm closing the session. Okay, then. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.